Have you ever noticed how easily the words "I am busy" slip out of your mouth, even when you are not sure what exactly is keeping you busy? Have you ever rushed through an entire day, ticking off tasks, answering messages, handling every honest needs, and then at night, when the room is finally quiet, felt a strange emptiness, as if you yourself never really showed up in your own day? Hey, welcome back to the channel. I am really glad you are here, because today we are going to talk about something that almost everyone is proud of, but that quietly drains our life force: this identity of being a busy person. In a world that worships speed, productivity, and constant connectivity, we rarely ask a very simple question: what exactly are we chasing? And what are we losing along the way? The original story behind today's episode asks a very sharp question when you say "I am busy." Is it really your schedule that is full? Or is it your heart that has forgotten how to rest? It points out that many people are busy all day, but if you take away the noise of work and social life, they do not know who they are, what they love, or how to sit quietly with themselves. It also introduces the ancient idea of guarding your mind and your character when you are alone, not just when others are watching, and reminds us that the most important part of managing your time is actually managing your heart. So in this video minus style script, we are going to walk through that theme slowly, like taking a long evening walk instead of sprinting down a highway. We will look at why we cling to being busy, what we are avoiding, how karma and cause and effect show up in our daily choices, and how to gradually recover the heart that we misplaced in the crowd of obligation. Along the way, we will draw on spiritual insight, Chinese wisdom about self-minus cultivation, and Buddhist teachings on mindfulness, compassion, and awakening. Let us start with a simple, uncomfortable truth. Most of the time, when we say, "I am busy," what we really mean is "I cannot face myself right now." Think about how people use the phrase. You ask a friend how they have been. They laugh and say, "Busy." As always, you ask yourself why you have not started that personal project, that exercise routine, that inner work you know you need. Your answer is, "I have been so busy lately." You feel a subtle discomfort when the house is quiet, so you pick up your phone, scroll, reply, refresh, adding more mental noise. And afterwards you tell yourself, "I had to. There is just too much going on." This noise has become our socially accepted shield. It hides our confusion, our loneliness, our fear of feeling. It gives us a respectable reason to run away. There is a saying in spiritual circles: if you want to know how someone really is, do not ask how their work is going or how many projects they have. Ask them, when you are alone and do not need to perform, do you feel peaceful, or do you feel restless? Many people discover they do not feel peaceful at all. Their body finally stops, but their mind continues to chase imaginary conversations, replay old mistakes, and anticipate tomorrow's disasters. If you listen carefully, there is a silent cry beneath all the noise: "I do not know how to be with myself." Ancient wisdom has a beautiful phrase about this. It talks about the importance of being cautious and sincere in solitude. The idea is simple but powerful: the real test of your character, your sincerity, and your spiritual progress is how you are when no one is looking, when you are not performing for an audience. In a busy, modern context, we could translate that into a question: when the notifications stop, when nobody needs you for a moment, can you meet your own heart with honesty and gentleness? Or do you instantly reach for some distraction because the silence scares you? To really feel this, let us step into a story. Imagine a woman named Emily. On paper, she is what many people would call successful. She works in a respected company, manages a small team, earns a decent income, and handles family obligations like a professional juggler. Her calendar is packed. Her messaging apps are always buzzing. People around her regularly say, "I do not know how you do it all." And Emily smiles, tired but proud, and answers with those three familiar words, I am busy. She uses those words like a badge of honor. When she skips lunch, she says, I am too busy to eat. When she does not answer a friend's message for a week, she apologizes. I have been incredibly busy. When her child asks her to play and she feels too exhausted, she says, Mom is busy. Maybe later. Inside, though, there is a different story. Sometimes, late at night, when her family has fallen asleep and the glow of her laptop finally fades, she stands in the bathroom, staring at her own reflection. In those moments, the silence presses in. Question marks appear. What am I running toward? What am I running away from? If I stopped being busy, even for a day, who would I be? But the questions are uncomfortable. So she washes her face, makes a mental note to schedule a self-care day eventually, and the next morning she dives back into the storm. One weekend, something small happens that becomes a turning point. Emily brings her laptop to a coffee shop, planning to squeeze in a few hours of work before meeting a friend. She is, as always, busy. She orders a drink, sits down, opens her computer. The screen stays black. The machine has completely died. No warning, no slow glitches, just darkness. She tries restarting it again and again, but nothing works. She feels a wave of panic rise in her chest. Without this device, she cannot send the report, check the numbers, reply to her boss. Her whole sense of control suddenly feels fragile. After a while, she realizes there is nothing she can do at that moment. The repair shop is closed. Her friend will arrive in 20 minutes. The coffee shop is full of soft music and quiet conversations. For the first time in a long time, she is stuck with nothing to do. She looks around. People are talking. Some are typing. A child is drawing with crayons. Outside the window, the sky is blue, and leaves move gently in the breeze. She feels strangely exposed, as if someone just stripped away her armor. Her hand instinctively reaches for her phone. Maybe if she checks her messages, she will feel useful again. But then she remembers something she heard in a talk recently. If you never sit alone with your own heart, your whole life will feel like a movie you watched but never fully lived. For some reason, that sentence comes back now. She hesitates, then puts the phone back down. She takes a breath, then another. At first, her mind races, what about my deadline? What if my boss is angry? What if I am falling behind? But because there is nothing she can actually do right now, those thoughts slowly lose their grip. After a few minutes, she notices something new underneath the anxiety. There is a deep exhaustion, not just physical tiredness, but a weariness that feels like it comes from the core of her being. She thinks, almost like an inner whisper, I am tired of being this person who is always chasing something. I am tired of performing I am busy all the time. In that quiet corner of a coffee shop, with a broken laptop and no escape route, she meets herself. This is the moment many of us avoid. We fill it with noise, tasks, and screens. But from a spiritual perspective, this is where real practice begins. When there is nothing to distract you, and you feel both your tiredness and your hunger for something deeper, the door to awakening opens a crack. In Buddhist language, we might say Emily is touching the dukkha of her life, the underlying dissatisfaction that no amount of external success can erase. She is beginning to see the karmic pattern she has been feeding, the belief that the busier I am, the more valuable I am. Every time she chose business over presence, she reinforced that belief. Every time she ignored the quiet signals from her body and heart, she strengthened the habit of self-neglect. Cause and effect are simple. Sal-long-term self-avoidance. Reap-long-term inner emptiness. But karma is not a punishment. It is a mirror. When you see clearly what you have been doing, you gain the power to do something different. Emily begins with something very small. After that day in the coffee shop, She makes a promise to herself every morning. Before she opens her email or checks her messages, she will sit on the edge of her bed for 5 minutes and simply breathe. No app, no background music, no reading, just breathing and feeling. The first week, the 5 minutes feel like torture. Her mind screams, "This is a waste of time. You could be getting ahead." She listens to those thoughts but does not obey. She keeps breathing. She feels her heart racing, sometimes for no clear reason. She notices how her shoulders are always slightly tense, as if bracing for an invisible impact. By the second week, something subtle shifts. The 5 minutes become an island of slowness in a rushing river. She starts to notice that during the day, when stress spikes, she can return to the memory of those 5 minutes and exhale a little more softly. This is what spiritual practitioners mean when they say you are guarding your heart in solitude. You are choosing to meet yourself regularly, not just when you collapse at the end of the day. You are building a steady, quiet space inside that does not depend on external applause. From the outside, nothing dramatic has happened yet. Emily still works in the same company. Her responsibilities have not evaporated. She is still a mother, a daughter, a colleague. But inside, a seed has been planted, the seed of remembering that her value is not identical with her business ends. Here is where ancient wisdom and modern psychology agree. If you measure your worth only by output, you will never rest, because there is always more you could do. When the mind is trained to chase outcomes without ever turning inward, it loses sensitivity to the present moment. You stop tasting your food. You stop hearing the tone of your loved ones' voices. You stop noticing your own emotional weather. In that state, no matter how much you achieve, your life feels strangely thin. You are like a person running past a beautiful landscape, eyes fixed only on the finish line, never realizing that the real treasure was the scenery itself. Chinese philosophy has long emphasized the importance of balancing doing with being. There are teachings about quieting the heart, cultivating inner stillness, and living in harmony with the natural rhythm of heaven and earth. You can think of it this way: if your inner world is always stormy, no amount of external comfort will make you feel safe. Buddhist practice takes this a step further. It says that the more you chase things outside yourself, the more you create conditions for suffering. Not because work or success are evil, but because when your identity clings to them, their inevitable change will shake you. Jobs change, roles change, health changes. The only thing that can't really stabilize you is the inner wisdom that knows how to stand still in the middle of movement. So how do you begin to find the heart you lost while racing through life? You start by becoming honest about your patterns. Maybe you notice that every time you feel lonely, you fill your schedule with social events so you do not have to sit with the loneliness. Maybe you notice that every time you feel insecure, you throw yourself into projects to prove your worth, instead of looking directly at that insecurity. Maybe you notice that your business ends often spikes exactly when some deeper question about your life arises. Honesty is not about blaming yourself. It is about finally telling the truth. When you see that "I am busy" has become your way of running from yourself, you can begin to choose differently. Instead of blindly adding activities, you pause and ask, if I were not afraid right now, would I still say yes to this? This is where the themes of awakening, wisdom, compassion, and destiny quietly emerge. Awakening is not only about great mystical experiences. It is about waking up from the trance of automatic business ends. It is the moment you catch yourself reaching for your phone for the 10th time and ask, what feeling am I trying not to feel? It is the moment you realize that attending one more meeting or scrolling one more feed will not fill the emptiness inside. Wisdom is the ability to see cause and effect in your own life clearly. If you notice that constant rushing leads to irritability, health problem, and emotional numbness, wisdom suggests that you change your rhythm. Even if the outer world still praises you for being a hard worker, compassion begins with yourself. For many people, the heart is tired not just because of work, but because of the way they constantly attack themselves internally. They are never satisfied, always criticizing, always setting the bar higher. Even when they rest, they feel guilty. True compassion is not laziness. It does not mean abandoning your responsibilities. It means speaking to yourself the way you would speak to a dear friend. It means allowing yourself to be human, to breathe, to make mistakes. Destiny, from a spiritual perspective, is not a fixed script carved in stone. It is the unfolding of your life as shaped by your choices, your beliefs, your karma. Every time you choose presence over panic, authenticity over performance, your destiny subtly shifts. You move closer to a life that matches your true heart, not just social expectations. Let us return to Emily's story and see how this plays out over time. Months pass. Her 5 minutes of morning breathing gradually become 10. She adds a simple practice before sleep, recalling one moment in the day when she felt close to her real self. Sometimes it is a moment of laughter with her child. Sometimes it is a quiet walk between meetings. Sometimes it is the courage to say no to a request that would have overloaded her schedule. Through this, she begins to see her day as more than a series of tasks. She starts to notice the texture of her experience. On some days, she feels more grounded. On others, she falls back into old patterns of frantic rushing. Instead of judging herself, she experiments. What if I slowed down my speech in this meeting? What if I took 3 deep breaths before opening this stressful email? Her colleagues notice something. You seem calmer lately. One of them says, you do not snap as quickly. Another observes. Her child notices that she looks them in the eyes more often instead of answering while typing. Her partner comments that she seems less exhausted at dinner, more truly present. Nothing magical has happened. She is just practicing the art of being here, again and again, in small moments. One evening, she has a conversation with an older co-worker who has been through serious illness. He tells her, when I was lying in the hospital, I realized that what I missed most was not my achievements. I missed the mornings when I rushed past my own life. When I could have looked at the sky but instead checked my messages. When I could have really listened to my family, but instead thought about work. Do not wait until a crisis forces you to stop. His words land deeply in her heart. She realizes that, if she continues as before, her future will be full of impressive accomplishments and an increasingly hollow inner life. If she chooses differently, her schedule might still be full, but her heart will not be absent from her own days. This is the turning point where business changes from a master into a servant. Work is not the enemy. Responsibility is not the enemy. The enemy is the unconscious belief that your worth depends entirely on how much you do, how fast you move, and how useful you are to others. That belief will steal your joy, your health, and your sense of meaning if you let it run unchecked. Spiritual teachings, whether they come in the language of meditation, mindfulness, Taoist harmony, or Buddhist insight, all point toward the same invitation: return to the center. Learn to stand in the middle of your life with a clear, steady heart, even while the world around you keeps moving. You do not have to disappear into a mountain cave to do this. You can begin right where you are. The next time you are tempted to say, I am busy automatically, pause for a second. Ask yourself, what am I really feeling right now? Maybe you are anxious. Maybe you are tired. Maybe you are sad. Maybe you genuinely have a lot on your plate. Allow yourself to acknowledge that honestly. Instead of using business as a shield, let your awareness touch your actual experience. If you are overwhelmed, your heart is asking for gentleness. If you are lonely, your heart is asking for true connection, not just more notification. If you are bored with your own life, your heart is asking you to remember what you truly care about, beyond paychecks and status. As you practice this kind of inquiry again and again, a different kind of rhythm slowly takes shape. You might still work hard, but you build in moments of stillness. You might still help others, but you no longer abandon yourself. You might still walk quickly sometimes, but inside, you are not running away. And something beautiful begins to happen. The more you become present to your own heart, the more you can be present to others. You actually hear what your friend is saying instead of thinking of your to-do list. You feel your child's small hand in yours instead of treating it as background noise. You sense the subtle beauty of a sunset, the sound of rain, the comfort of shared silence. You start to realize that the life you were chasing somewhere in the future is already here. In these simple moments, if only you stop long enough to notice, will there still be stress? Of course. Will there still be days when everything feels like too much? Certainly. The path is not about eliminating all difficulty. It is about no longer abandoning yourself in the middle of it. In this sense, spiritual practice is less about escaping the modern world and more about carrying a quiet, awake heart through it. So if you feel that constant "I am busy" has drained the color from your days, let this be a gentle wake-up call, not a reason for guilt. You are not broken. You have simply been trained by a world that forgot how to rest. Tonight, when you are alone, try something simple. Put your phone aside. Turn off the extra noise. Sit with yourself. Even if it is uncomfortable, place a hand lightly on your chest and say inwardly, "I am here." Not "I am useful." Not "I am productive." Simply, "I am here." Notice what arises. Maybe tears. Maybe relief. Maybe nothing dramatic. Just a quiet sense of returning home after a long journey. This is how you begin to find the heart you lost on the road of constant rushing. Not through one grand decision, but through many small moments of choosing presence over performance. I know this topic touches many people deeply, because so many of us wear business and like armor. If any part of this story felt like your own, I invite you to share in the comments. Have you ever had a moment when life forced you to slow down, and you suddenly saw how far you had drifted from your own heart? What helped you begin to come back? Your story might be the mirror someone else needs today. If this video minus style reflection offered you a pause in the middle of your busy day, please support the channel by giving it a like, subscribing, and turning on notifications, so you do not miss future explorations about awakening, wisdom, karma, and the art of living with a clear heart in a chaotic world. If you feel called to go deeper with us and support this work, you can also join as a channel member. Thank you for slowing down here with me, even just for these moments. May your schedule be full when it needs to be, but may your heart never again be absent from your own life.
Life gets noisy. Work, stress, expectations. Sometimes we lose touch with the quiet part of ourselves. Bracelet isn't just an accessory. It's a small reminder that you deserve peace. You deserve moments of stillness. You deserve to hold on to your inner balance. If one of these bracelets speaks to your heart, you'll find the purchase link in the description below, and even more auctions available on our channel's shop page. Pick home the one that feels right.